Herr Präsident, meine Damen und Herren! Das Weltwirtschaftsforum hat gemeinsam mit dem UN-Generalsekretär, dem Internationalen Währungsfonds und Großkonzernen wie Microsoft und Amazon einen Sondergipfel zum sogenannten Great Reset mit allen globalen Führungskräften aus Politik und Wirtschaft angekündigt. Da man nach der Corona-Pandemie nicht zur alten Normalität zurückkehren könne, sondern die Pandemie so wörtlich eine seltene Gelegenheit, ein kleines Fenster sei, um eine weltweite Transformation einzuleiten. Dass es sich beim Weltwirtschaftsforum nicht um einen unbedeutenden Country Club handelt, sieht man daran, dass die Bundesregierung und Kanzlerin Merkel regelmäßig daran teilnehmen. Und auch die grüne Kanzlerkandidatin Baerbock würde sich sonst sicherlich nicht in diesem als im Führungsnachwuchsprogramm des Weltwirtschaftsforums engagieren. Eine der verstörenden Kernbotschaften, wie man sich die Welt 2030 vorstellt, lautet so wörtlich: Alle Produkte werden zu Dienstleistungen. Ich besitze nichts. Ich besitze kein Auto. Ich besitze kein Haus. Ich besitze keine Geräte oder Kleidung. Wenn die Menschen also gezwungen sind, diese Dinge zu leihen, wer entscheidet dann über die Zuteilung? Dafür kommen doch nur zwei in Frage: entweder der Staat, das nennt man dann Sozialismus, oder Großkonzerne, das wäre dann Oligarchie. Es wird also ernsthaft die Besitzlosigkeit als etwas Gutes propagiert. Dabei bedeutet doch gerade Eigentum, Freiheit und Unabhängigkeit, also die entscheidenden Faktoren für jede lebendige Demokratie. Weiter wird behauptet, die Werte des Westens, die den Westen aufgebaut haben, wurden bis zum Bruch getestet. Was soll uns eigentlich dieser Satz sagen? Dass die Werte des Westens ausgedient haben? Freiheit, Demokratie, Grundrechte? Und tatsächlich finden sich in offiziellen Dokumenten der Bundesregierung bereits erste Bestandteile dieser Ideen. So heißt es beispielsweise in der vom Bundesumweltministerium herausgegebenen Smart City Charta so wörtlich: Dank der Information über verfügbare geteilte Waren und Ressourcen macht es weniger Sinn, etwas zu besitzen. Vielleicht wird Privateigentum in der Tat ein Luxus. Und Sie von den Grünen haben damit bereits in Hamburg ja angefangen, indem Sie Einfamilienhäuser verbieten. Und zur Demokratie heißt es sogar: Da wir genau wissen, was Leute tun und möchten, gibt es weniger Bedarf an Wahlen, Mehrheitsfindungen oder Abstimmungen. Verhaltensbezogene Daten können Demokratie als das gesellschaftliche Feedback-System ersetzen. In einem offiziellen Regierungsdokument wird also ernsthaft die Einschränkung oder die völlige Abschaffung der Demokratie in Erwägung gezogen. Und deshalb fordern wir mit unseren Anträgen Transparenz und die längst überfällige Debatte zur Agenda dieses Great Reset-Gipfels. Insbesondere fordern wir die Regierung auf, klar und deutlich offenzulegen, welche Position sie auf diesem Gipfel vertreten wird. Denn ein solch gravierender Umbau darf in einer Demokratie niemals von oben erfolgen, sondern muss immer das Ergebnis einer breiten öffentlichen Debatte hier im Parlament und mit den Bürgern sein. Und genau diese Debatte muss jetzt endlich beginnen. Herzlichen Dank.
Here's what Klaus Schwab thinks.
People assume we are just going back to the good old world which we had, and everything will be normal again in how we are used to normal, in the old fashion. This is, let's say, fiction. It will not happen. Cut.
Since COVID-19 was declared a pandemic, many have speculated that it's been planned by a group of tech elites who are dictating to governments globally. But do these ideas carry any weight? And what might their motives be for orchestrating a global pandemic? To understand, we must first explore a significant shift that's been taking place in our economy. one that only a minority of people are aware of. It's called the Fourth Industrial Revolution. To date, there have been 3 industrial revolutions. The first happened in the late 1700s with the invention of the steam engine, which led to the creation of factories and a booming textile industry. In the late 1800s, the second industrial revolution was marked by mass production, as well as new industries like steel and electricity. And the third happened in the late 1900s, which saw the invention of the computer and the internet. Now, the fourth industrial revolution describes the emergence of artificial intelligence and how it integrates more with humans. Artificial intelligence, or AI, can already be seen in our daily lives, from how we check out at the supermarket to how we check in for a flight. But it's far more advanced than most people realise. In August 2020, entrepreneur Elon Musk gave a demo of his new company, Neuralink. Connected to our brains with tiny wires, this microchip is synced with AI, enabling humans to control anything, from prosthetic limbs to computer games. This working proof of concept has already been fitted into people. It has the potential to completely transform the way we interact online.
So there's actually a lot of functions that this device could do related to monitoring your health and warning you about a possible heart attack or stroke or other damage, as well as sort of convenience features like playing music. You can do a lot. It's sort of like if your phone went at your brain or something.
It's a cyborg. It's a combination. It's a combination of electronics and biology.
Yeah. Things are getting more and more connected.
Kai-Fu Lee is the former president of Google China and Microsoft Research China, as well as the author of New York Times bestseller, AI's Superpowers, China, Silicon Valley, and the New World Order. Kai-Fu believes that China will be the AI superpower within 5 years.
For those of you who haven't been to China for the 3 years, please be careful when you go because your credit card and cash may not be accepted. China has pretty much been taken over by mobile payments. In the age of AI, if data is the new oil, then China is the new Saudi Arabia.
One concern that is topical in the development of AI is the displacement of jobs.
Robots are clearly replacing people's jobs. They're working 24/7. They're more efficient.
So therefore, are you convinced long-term that we're going to have a jobs problem in the world?
Not long-term, but maybe in the next 10 years, within the next 10 years.
You mean it's going to happen much sooner?
Much sooner. If a lot of people will find happiness without working, that would be a happy outcome.
At Amazon fulfillment centres, robots transport items to humans, who then pack them to be delivered. Amazon believes that within 10 years, they will not need a single human to fulfill an order. According to the World Economic Forum, 50% of the workforce will need reskilling by 2025, and it's likely that only a fraction of these will find work, resulting in a large proportion of the workforce becoming unemployed.
There's a pretty good chance we end up with a universal basic income or something like that due to automation. You know, people have time to do other things and more complex things, more interesting things, so they're more leisure time. And then we've got to figure out how we integrate with a world in the future with advanced AI.
One idea that is gaining popularity is to charge tech companies with a robot tax, which can be distributed to the unemployed as a universal basic income.
I don't think the robot companies are going to be outraged that there might be a tax. It's okay.
Contrary to the past, to the previous 3 revolutions, probably jobs will be faster destroyed compared to new ones being created.
This is Klaus Schwab, the author of this book, The Fourth Industrial Revolution. He's also the executive chairman of the World Economic Forum, which is funded by the largest global enterprises and whose members include CEOs, heads of state, and government ministers from countries such as the UK and US.
The fourth industrial revolution will impact our lives completely. It will change actually us, our own identity, and of course gives life to such policies and developments like smart traffic, smart government, smart cities.
The purpose for this film is to imply that everything from economics to our culture needs to change. After the reset, it shows images of digital technology, biological cells, populations, cash, climate change, traffic management. And this. Seem familiar? This promotional video was released 6 months before Margaret Keenan received the first COVID-19 vaccine. In November 2020, Time magazine published The Great Reset on their front cover. The World Economic Forum's managing director, Jeremy Jargans, believes that it will have a devastating impact on our economy.
You know, if we look at the Great Reset, we're still at the early stages of a global crisis that's going to forever transform society. You know, when it first started, people said, okay, this is the biggest crisis to hit since 2007-2008 financial crisis. And then a little bit later, they said, oh wow, this is the biggest crisis since World War II. Now we're looking at them and saying, oh look, this is comparable to what happened in the Great Depression.
Politicians are also endorsing the campaign.
This pandemic has provided an opportunity for a reset. This is our chance to accelerate our pre-pandemic efforts to reimagine economic systems.
History would look at this crisis as the great opportunity for reset.
All elements of the Great Reset are fundamental to building the future we need.
And it's even promoted by the royal family, who posted this video on their YouTube page with the Great Reset hashtag.
We are on the verge of catalytic breakthroughs that will alter our view of what is possible and profitable within the framework of a sustainable future. We need nothing short of a paradigm shift, one that inspires action at revolutionary levels and pace. We simply cannot waste any more time. The only limit is our willingness to act. And the time to act is now.
The World Economic Forum believes that capitalism needs to be reinvented. Their Build Back Better slogan has been adopted by politicians across the globe.
This moment also gives us a much greater chance to be radical and to do things differently, to build back better.
Because we can only build back better if we lean on one another.
Over the last 2 weeks, I've shared my agenda for economic recovery. I call it Build Back Better, because we can't just build back to the way things were before. We have to do it better. And the first plank of my Build Back Better plan rejects the defeatist view that automation and globalization mean we can't ensure American workers lead to a future made in America.
So what does the world look like after the Great Reset? This social media post by the World Economic Forum demonstrates 8 predictions by 2030. Here are 3 of them. You'll own nothing and you'll be happy. Whatever you want, you'll rent and it'll be delivered by drone. And Western values will have been tested to the breaking point. Provide the mass unemployed with a universal basic income credited onto the Rockefeller and Microsoft-backed digital IDs that are implanted into our hands.
You can create a digital ID today. It's a natural evolution of the way that we're going to use technology in any event to transact daily life. And this COVID crisis gives an additional reason for doing that.
Coerce us into taking tech-based vaccines and staying at home, and require us to reside within smart cities with totalitarian-like surveillance.
Well, let's see how long it takes you to find me. Right behind me, you can see just over my left shoulder there. Hello, guys.
I've been expecting you.
In return for giving us the universal basic income, are these the conditions they will require?
Smart cities will pullulate with sensors, all joined together by the Internet of Things, and the urban environment is as antiseptic as a Zurich pharmacy. But this technology could also be used to keep every citizen under round-the-clock surveillance. A future Alexa will pretend to take orders, but this Alexa will be watching you, clucking her tongue and stamping her foot. In future, voice connectivity will be in every room and almost every object. Your mattress will monitor your nightmares, your fridge will beep for more cheese, your front door will sweep wide the moment you approach like some silent butler. Your smart meter will go hustling of its own accord for the cheapest electricity, and every one of them minutely transcribing your every habit in tiny electronic shorthand, stored not in their chips or in their innards, nowhere you can find it, but in some great cloud of data that lowers ever more oppressively over the human race. AI. What will it mean? Helpful robots washing and caring for an aging population, or pink-eyed terminators sent back from the future to cull the human race?
If this pandemic was planned, why would now be the perfect time to activate it? The answer could be 5G. It's 100 times faster than 4G, and it's now ready to be rolled out. This upgrade in performance is essential for digitising society, connecting humanity more closely with the Internet of Things and artificial intelligence.
They haven't done a very good job about protecting public health, but they've done a very good job at using the quarantine to bring 5G into all of our communities and to begin the process of shifting us all to a digital currency, which is the beginning of slavery. Because if they control your bank account, they control your behavior. And we all see these advertisements saying 5G is coming to your community. It's going to make all of your lives so much better. And it's very convincing, I have to say.
This is a game changer.
Because I look at those ads and I think, that's great. I can hardly wait till it gets here. Because I'm going to be able to download a video game in 6 seconds instead of 16 seconds. And is that why they're spending $5 trillion on 5G? No. The reason is for surveillance and data harvesting. It's not for you and me. It's for Bill Gates, it's for Zuckerberg, and it's for Bezos and all of the other billionaires. Bill Gates says that his satellite fleet will be able to look at every square inch of the planet 24 hours a day. But that's only the beginning. He also will be able to follow you on all of your smart devices through biometric facial recognition, through your GPS. You think that Alexa is working for you. She isn't working for you. She's working for Bill Gates, spying on you. And the pandemic is a crisis of convenience for the elites who are dictating these policies. It gives them the ability to obliterate the middle class, to destroy the institutions of democracy, to shift all of our wealth from all of us to a handful of billionaires to make themselves rich by impoverishing the rest of us.